The Lenin Stadium in Moscow hosts our top club game today, where the Soviet Supreme League leaders Spartak Moscow can move to within 8 points of the title if they can beat Dynamo Tbilisi, fifth from bottom. It's the second time we've seen Spartak Moscow in our top club series, and they make one change to the side that beats second place Dnipro 2-1. Gennady Morozov wears the number 4 shirt in place of the injured Ivanov. Number 11, Sergei Rodionov, is the current leading Soviet goal scorer with 15. Tbilisi shot to fame when they won the Cup Winners' Cup 8 years ago, and they have two survivors of that side in their team today, goalkeeper and captain Otar Gabalia and number 7 Svanadze. Referee today, Viktor Pianik. It's expected to be a one-sided affair. Spartak Moscow are expected to extend their lead at the top of the table. Dynamo Tbilisi in the middle of a rebuilding programme. They have a lot of youngsters in their team today. And it's Spartak Moscow in the white, playing from right to left in the first half, who get us underway. Kulkov fouled by Gogic-Chaishvili. Free kick then to Spartak. There is the Georgian player in the blue. Vasulko to Pozniakov. The first chance for Tbilisi to bring the ball away. Gogic-Chaishvili. Will Kulkov seek revenge? Yes, he does. A little bit of a battle going on down this left-hand side between those two players. Spartak Moscow go into today's game then as leaders of the Soviet Supreme League. They're 6 points clear of second place Dnipro, and really well on course for the title. Free kick then to Tbilisi. Chaishvili will take it. Kuznetsov helped inside to the captain. Cherenkov, 1-2 with Pasulko. This is neat play. Kulkov just slightly ahead of Pasulko. Chaishvili couldn't keep it in play. There's Pasulko, scored in this corresponding fixture a couple of seasons ago. Really the playmaker of the Spartak Moscow side. Kulkov with the throw. Pozniakov plays in the back four, but he likes to come forward and help the attack. Chigilani gets it clear. A chance to Kacharava to make his way towards the Spartak goal. Very quiet start by both sides. I think it's important to stress the youth of this Tbilisi side in blue. Shadadze, their number 3, just 20 years old. In fact, the average age of the side is no more than 21. And they're playing against a highly experienced Spartak Moscow side who won the Soviet League title back in 1987. Kuznetsov, no relation to Oleg. There he is again, Kuznetsov. He's Eugene Kuznetsov. Gogic-Chaishvili played ball wide. Etashvili now down the right-hand side. Vasulko was a little bit lazy with his pass. Kulkov didn't really have a chance to keep it in play, so Tbilisi will have a throw. This Lenin Stadium here in Moscow holds 103,000 people. It's about half full today. And I think the fans here will be expecting to see, there they are, will be expecting to see Moscow win. They're dreaming, no doubt, of the title. And who knows, European Cup next September. Remember, the Soviet League well behind the other European leagues. Whoever wins the Soviet Supreme League doesn't get a chance to play in the European Cup till the following September. Here's Pasulko then for Spartak Moscow. Drives it in with his left foot, didn't really get hold of it. There's the goalkeeper, Otar Gabalia, one of those survivors from the Cup Winners' Cup side, Dynamo Tbilisi back in 81, 36 years old. Ravishvili couldn't flick it on. Ketsbaya couldn't get onto it either. Vasulev's clearance is easily intercepted. Early stage of this match, still goalless. And the youngsters from Georgia in the blue are playing with a good deal of confidence. More confidence than their league position suggests. Fifth from bottom of the table, having won just 5 from a possible 23 matches this season. It's Spartak on the attack with Pozniakov. It was Chidia who got in the way. That was rather clumsy jump by Shalimov. And Tbilisi will have a free kick. The crowd agree with the referee, Viktor Pjanic. Then again, they wouldn't, would they? Nice to see some of the Soviet disabled spectators getting a good view of this game. Gabalia's clearance then. Gochichai-Shivili, dispossessed by Pozniakov. Kuznetsov. Pasulko. Ravishvili fouled him. Ravishvili was in the Soviet team that won the European Under-16 junior tournament back in 1985. So though the side is young, they're not that inexperienced, but inexperienced at this level. Shalimov. There's promising players in the Soviet Union today. And that was quite a collision between Zhedadze and Gabalia, and Zhedadze looks in a great deal of trouble, the 20-year-old. I think he's winded, to be honest. But he looks a good deal more injured than that. You look at the collision again. Gabalia, who must have called for the ball, didn't really see his fullback Zhedadze. And there's some concern now on the Tbilisi bench. Zhedadze obviously took quite a blow in his ribs or abdomen from his goalkeeper accidentally. Tbilisi are temporarily going to be down to 10 men as Zhedadze leaves the field. Zhedadze playing at right back, so Tbilisi going to have to cover there whilst he gets his breath back. Here's Chidia, their 24-year-old midfield player. Still 0-0. Pasulko. Pozniakov. Rodionov. Oh, he might have been fouled there and almost went in anyway. And Rodionov was denied by some desperate Tbilisi tackling. And in the end, that could have almost been an own goal. The first was by Svaiba. And in the second place from Chikavani. The ball, luckily for Tbilisi, just went wide. It still hasn't been cleared, though it has been now. And Tbilisi breathe again. Boki. Under pressure from Ketsbaya. Kuznetsov can't control the ball. Chidia. Ravishvili. Chidia, very neat Tbilisi, aren't they, coming forward? Chidia tries his luck. But didn't really have to trouble to get that one. Let's just have a look at that one again. The deflection took the power out of the shot, and the latest score midway through the first half: Spartak Moscow 0, Tbilisi 0. Through the first half, and it's Spartak Moscow in white who bring the ball away now inside their own half of the field. Kuznetsov, been a very quiet start to the game. Although Tbilisi, who are, to say the least, the underdogs in this league affair, have been very confident in their build-up. Although it's Moscow on the attack with Boki, their right back. They're forced out of play on the far side. Boki won 2 championship medals with Sparta, the last one in '87. And his side bang on course for the championship again. They lead the table and lead it comprehensively. A win for Spartak today would put them within 8 points of the title with just 5 matches left. And they're on the attack now as Sveiber gets it out of play for a corner. Looking at Rodionov. Shadadze now back in the thick of the action again after being winded in a collision with his goalkeeper Gabalia. Corner then to Spartak. Shalimov. Oh, that was certainly goal bound, but the veteran keeper got his body behind the ball, and Shalimov's header in the end didn't pose too much of a problem for him. Morozov. Shalimov. Just really saw that all the way. And there's a man who's played over 450 league games for Tbilisi. Member of that 81 Cup Winners' Cup winning side. And they beat Karl Zeiss Jena in Dusseldorf to take the trophy for the first time. Shadadze. It's surprising that Spartak Moscow aren't pushing further forward on Tbilisi. They're giving him a lot of space and time, especially in the Tbilisi half of the field. And that's why Tbilisi are happy to knock the ball around at the moment. And Spartak Moscow, like many Soviet sides, are happy to hit them on the counter-attack. And here they come with Kuznetsov now. Chidia. Balling figure. Kacharava. Oh, he's beaten a couple of challenges, including that of Morozov, and he could be clean through here into the side netting. That was desperately close. And that was poor Spartak defending that gave Kacharava that shot, or chance of a shot rather. And Tbilisi have shown that they too can mount a serious challenge. And Spartak Moscow are going to have to move up a gear. Spartak Moscow have scored more goals than anyone else in the Soviet League, 39, and conceded fewest, just 15. But for all their pedigree, they're unable to make it tell against Tbilisi, who are on the attack now. Half an hour gone, still 0-0. Rodionov. Cherenkov. Very often such an influential player for Spartak. He's hardly shone in the opening 30 minutes or so of this match. There he is taking the throw. There's Shalimov. Pasulko. Again, Tbilisi have a lot of men back. Kacharava has it. Kacharava again. His shot just wide of target, the closest we've come to a goal. Well, this time Basulev can get it back to Cherchesov. I think it's interesting to note that both Soviet sides, both players who can not only defend with acumen but come forward as well. And when you have that sort of fluidity about your side, on the counter-attack you're going to be very strong. Especially watch out for Pozniakov, the number 5 for Spartak Moscow, who likes to come forward from the back four and have the odd pot shot at goal himself. There's Basulev. Borusov into the side today for the injured Ivanov. Boki. You can hear the cat whistles round this Lenin Stadium. They're not enjoying this Spartak performance. Pozniakov coming forward again from the back. Shalimov. Wide to Pozniakov again. That's not a bad cross. And in the end, Ciccovanni happy to get it out of play. Boki lining himself up for a long throw. Gabalia aware of the possibilities that might incur. Boki again. Pozniakov didn't quite get hold of it, but he bears out my point that he likes to come forward and try his luck. Conversely, it has to be said that the attackers, the front men in Soviet football, are happy to come back and do their share of defending too. Pozniakov again. Kulkov. There is Kulkov. He's on the verge of the Soviet national side. Here's Shalimov. Oh, the keeper did well. They managed to smuggle it away, did the Tbilisi defence, and Shalimov can only show his frustration. It was a great through ball by Kulkov. He chested it down, possibly a hint of a handball. Now, did the goalkeeper get a touch on the goal-bound effort? The answer is yes, because Spartak Moscow have a corner. And Pozniakov now has it. It was never going to be easy for Kuznetsov, but that was a very, very good save indeed by Gabalia. And when you look back on that incident, maybe Tbilisi might have felt that Shalimov controlled that ball, the through ball from Kulkov, with his upper arm. Here comes Spartak again then with Pasulko. He drives it in with his right foot. And again, the captain of Tbilisi is aware to the danger. Svanadze. Shadia. Another breakaway attack, intercepted by Basulev. And Cherchesov just celebrated his 26th birthday. And take the ball with some ease. Basulev again. Gotchai Chisavili. Game's reached something of a stalemate. Spartak Moscow have probably had the best of the chances, although Ketsbaya drives one in there with his left foot. It was rising as it floated over the crossbar. But Spartak Moscow have probably had the lion's share of play. But they look very sluggish in midfield, and Tbilisi have counter-attacked very effectively. Ciccovanni lucky to escape with that turn. The ball managed to stay with him. Gotchai Ketashvili now. Ketashvili's through. Oh, into the side netting. Sloppy defending again. I think everyone was expecting him to cross the ball as he cuts inside Pozniakov. And look at that for a dummy. Not bad for a fullback. Tries to catch out the goalkeeper on the near post and instead finds the side netting. I think that would have gone in the way they're celebrating, wouldn't you? Still 0-0 though. Not too long to half-time. Got Chichai-Shivili again. Replaced former international Shengelia in the side. Tbilisi side. Svanadze. Ketsbaya. He's found a way through. Surely he was fouled then. The referee didn't even look at his linesman to see what the linesman thought of that challenge. But Ketsbaya went down very heavily under the challenge of Pozniakov. And the ball still hasn't been cleared. Shot, I think, from Ciccovanni did not take a deflection. It's a goal kick. So a strong finish to the first half by Tbilisi. And I think, for my money, they were a little unlucky not to have had a penalty. I've seen penalty decisions given for a lot less. We're inside the last minute now of the first half. Pasulko has Kulkov to his left. Cherenkov. That was good defending by Svanadze. Got Chichai-Shivili. The back heel finds Morozov. Wide of its target. I think Tbilisi now happy to hear the half-time whistle. Chance for a breather. And a word from their coach, David Kipiani. Another member of that cup-winning side back in 81. Ketashvili. Ketashvili, number 2, the only current international in this Tbilisi side. And Vic Zaiva on the ball. Got Chichai-Shivili again. Chidia. Bevishvili. Referee brings the first half to a close. A disappointing first half for Spartak Moscow, who are expected to win this game handsomely. At half-time, Spartak Moscow 0, Dynamo Tbilisi 0. Join us again for the second half after the break. And it's Tbilisi in the blue who will get the second half underway. And of the two sides, Tbilisi will feel happier at this halfway point because Spartak Moscow, the current Soviet League leaders, were expected to make easy meal of this match. It hasn't turned out that way. And Tbilisi have had their chances too in the opening 45 minutes. No doubt stern words have been exchanged in the Spartak Moscow dressing room at half-time with Romanchev, the 40-year-old Spartak Moscow coach, former first-team player here. But Spartak Moscow in white have seemed sluggish. And they haven't had that many memorable efforts on the Tbilisi goal. Here they are again as they build from deep inside their own half of the field. Pasulko. Cherenkov, the captain. All pretty, but Spartak Moscow unable to make it count. Although here's an opening down the right for Kulkov. And keep the ball in play, that is. Bevishvili manages to get the ball out. Morozov. Newcomer to the Spartak side. He's no newcomer, is he? 36 years old. Otar Gabalia. Boki will take the throw then for Spartak Moscow. Schreiber gets it clear. The header in was by Pasulko, who had taken a piece of extraordinary acrobatics by Cherenkov to get his head on the ball. But Boki has been used for the long throw on a couple of occasions. Well, there seems no obvious target in the Spartak Moscow side. Somebody who might be able to flick the ball on or head it goalwards. Pasulko hardly the tallest player on the field. Here's Reveshvili then for Tbilisi. Chikavani. Ketsbaya. Reveshvili. Ketsbaya. They've got in each other's way a bit. Reveshvili. Chechesov had to be down smartly to that one. And when you compare the two strike forces of Spartak Moscow and Tbilisi, Ketsbaya and Reveshvili seem a lot more potent than their Spartak Moscow opponents. Men playing at front for them, Shalimov and Rodionov, have hardly made an impact today. Although Reveshvili's shot there not too far away. Still 0-0 though. Basulev. There's David Kipiani, centre of the picture, a former Tbilisi player who played in that Cup Winners' Cup winning side in 81. His career cut short when he broke a leg against Real Madrid in a pre-season friendly match. And to sit and watch on the sidelines whilst his side make a very good job of holding the current Soviet League leaders, Spartak Moscow. I think they have to be 10 yards from the ball. I think the rules are the same in the Soviet League. I think they're going to scrum ground in a minute, aren't they? Gabalia just checking that his defensive wall is correctly positioned. Pasulko. Oh, I say, that was not too far away. It's still loose inside the box before Chikavani gets it clear. Pasulko. An enterprising free kick to say the least, the way it was just flicked up, and it was Cherenkov who flicked it up onto the knee of Pasulko. And how about that for a volley? I think in fairness, Gabalia made it look far more spectacular than it was. It was not quite straight at him, but he made a meal of it. Looked spectacular though. Pasulko has been brought down again by the midfield player Tbilisi Chidia. And Chidia is going to get a yellow card for that challenge. He brought Pasulko down in full flight and he's paid the price for it. Perhaps more importantly, Spartak Moscow have another free kick in a very similar position to the one where Pasulko struck that splendid effort just a couple of minutes ago. Well, they're on their feet here in the Lenin Stadium. Let's see what Spartak Moscow can do with this free kick. They'll try it again. Rodionov. Oh! The goalkeeper again knocked it over. Not bad for an old man, is he? Corner then to Spartak. It's a poor one. Reveshvili gets it clear. Chidia. Shanadze, or rather Reveshvili, brought down by Boki on the edge of the penalty area. Just over an hour gone of this match, still 0-0. Apart from those two free kicks which Spartak Moscow have had, Tbilisi can say they're comfortably holding the league leaders. And now Tbilisi have a free kick on the edge of the Spartak box. Big day out for Tbilisi from the Georgian province. Chadil will take the free kick. Reveshvili straight into the wall. Chikivani. Fullback trying his luck from long range. Pozniakov then brings it away for Spartak Moscow. Vasulko. Shalimov. Cherenkov. Into his left foot if he can eventually get there. Left the ball behind. Gotchitchashvili. Chikivani. Tbilisi seem to be playing with even more confidence than they seem to appear to do in the first half. Shalimov, here's half a yard for him. Vasulko. Reveshvili. Gotchitchashvili, Reveshvili. I think Boki made a meal of the challenge. It's a free kick anyway. Rodionov. Cherenkov. Gotchitchashvili. And he's got support. He's round Basulev. He's round Pasulko. And he scored! Oh, I say! Tbilisi have taken the lead. And Gotchitchashvili has given it to them. He ran fully 50 yards with the ball before delivering an unstoppable shot past Cherchesov. And that has to be an extraordinary goal no matter what league you play in. No wonder they're delighted, the Tbilisi team. They can hardly believe it. 1-0 Tbilisi lead. And look at the finish by Gotchitchashvili. Round Basulev, round Pasulko. It's Spartak Moscow 0, Tbilisi 1. Stadium, because the league leaders playing in white are struggling against a side fifth from bottom of the Soviet Supreme League. The goal was scored just after an hour by Kahi Gotchitchashvili after he ran over half the length of the field to deliver an unstoppable shot past the Spartak keeper Stanislav Cherchesov. There is Cherchesov, and he's under pressure again because Tbilisi have a free kick now. Ketashvili will knock it to Svenadze. And don't be at all surprised to see Tbilisi resting on their laurels now, because this would be an extraordinary result by any stretch of the imagination. Tbilisi have basically rebuilt their side in the last 12 to 18 months. They accept that their youngsters will take time to knit together, and their hope this season was just to stay in the first division. Fifth from bottom, nobody expected them to actually beat the Soviet League leaders today. Although there are hopes that this Tbilisi side in years to come can perhaps go some way of matching the exploits of the great Tbilisi sides of the early 1980s. It's probably too much to hope that Tbilisi will actually take the game now to Spartak Moscow and look for a second goal. But who knows? Spartak Moscow certainly going to have to come out now and chase the game. At the moment we've got two teams both kicking one way. because Tbilisi are happy to get their ball back to their goalkeeper as often as possible to try defend their lead. But it's Spartak Moscow with Pasulko now. Reveshvili, Kecharava, Boki, Pasulko. Tbilisi have a man injured inside the centre circle. The referee Viktor Pjanic is going to stop the game. Just check that Sviber is okay, the giant central defender, despite the number 8 he wears on his back. Sloppy play by Spartak Moscow. I think the look on Pozniakov's face was positively Siberian. Kulkov then with a throw. Morozov. Vasulev. Kuznetsov. Cherenkov. Oh, lovely turn. The captain is denied by his opposite captain, Otar Gabalia. Cherenkov turned magnificently, bent the ball in with his left foot. The keeper was aware that the Spartak number 10 was clean through. In the end, it didn't look too difficult to save. Well, could this be the weekend when the Soviet League takes a dramatic turn? No chance of Tbilisi winning the Soviet League Championship. But if this scoreline were to stay the same until the 90-minute mark, clubs like Dnipro and Dynamo Kiev would have real heart. They may be able to catch up Spartak Moscow at the head of the table. Vasulev. Cherenkov. "15 minutes left of this match. Kulkov. Well, I think he needed to pass the ball somewhere along the line there. So many Tbilisi men back inside their own penalty area. Kulkov's job was never going to be an easy one. Morozov had a free header. Kecharava opted out of the challenge.
Уважаемые зрители, сообщаем порядок выхода с трибун. Первыми выходят зрители верхнего яруса, а затем нижнего.
Alexander Boki. Wide to Eugene Kuznetsov. That isn't a particularly good cross. It's a shame that Tbilisi have looked less impressive since they scored their goal. But a lot of their midfield players now are being pressed back into defensive duties. Free kick to Spartak. Away by Chikavani. Pasulko. Cherenkov. Ooh. It was Kecharava who was back defending to get the ball away. Shalimov. Morozov claimed he was fouled by his opposite number 4, Chidia. Chidia applauds him as if to say that tumble might have been okay in the theatre, but not on the football field. Reveshvili tries the hook over his head. I think the ball was already out of play. Well, is there any way back for Spartak Moscow? They're only a goal down. But Tbilisi looked impressive defending. Here's Shalimov, though. Tries his luck, came off his own man. I think it came off Kuznetsov. Of course, as Spartak Moscow push forward for this equaliser, they might leave the odd hole or two at the back themselves, and maybe Tbilisi could score a second. Here's Shalimov, though, now for Spartak. Basulev joins the attack. Came off his opposite number 2, Keteshvili. Got Chichashvili. Well, he's picked the ball up inside his own half of the field. He scored from this distance on the 65th minute mark. Surely he's not going to do it again. Still has it, though. Morozov is going to foul him. Actually, that foul was coming about 15 seconds earlier. Morozov was determined to bring him down. And quite rightly, he gets the yellow card. There was a hint of he's not going to do it again about it, as Morozov meandered with him around the field and eventually hooked him to the floor. In boxing terms, I think that was a bit below the belt. They've all had a drink. They're all feeling a lot better. And they lead by goal to nil to Tbilisi in the blue. And they have a free kick after that rather crude challenge on Gokchitchashvili. He crosses the ball over. Reveshvili. Gabalia, who has possession now, has probably received more passes from his own players than shots from the opposition in this game. Chikivani. Sviber. Zvanadze. Still no way through for Spartak Moscow, who must be getting desperate at this stage. Pasulko more in hope than in accuracy, but Keteshvili will get it clear. Spartak Moscow aren't only chasing the league title, they're in the UEFA Cup and are midway through their first round meetings with Atalanta of Italy. Well, here's Shalimov. There was 3 Tbilisi men round that ball as it bobbled its way through to goalkeeper Gabalia. That's the sort of investment they're making in this one-goal advantage. I'm sure this victory goes a long way to please the Tbilisi coach David Kipiani, who's given a lifetime of work to Dynamo Tbilisi, not only as a player but as a coach and a manager too. And maybe gives him hope that this Tbilisi side, who knows, in a couple of years' time might be sitting pretty at the top of the Soviet League themselves. Here's Kacharava. Ketsbaya, he's got a lot of space. And that was a long way over the top. It's nice to see these Soviet ball boys behind the goal, returning a second football to the goalkeepers very quickly after the ball goes behind. Keeps the game moving. I'm sure Spartak want to keep the game moving at this stage. They trail by a goal to nil to Tbilisi in the blue. Basulka now has it. There's a tired look about Spartak Moscow. They seem to have run out of ideas. But it's very difficult to play against a side who are happy to pack their defence. Keep a lot of men behind the ball. Here's Svanadze for Tbilisi. Boki. And here the wolf whistles again ringing around this stadium. Maybe it's worth mentioning that Dynamo Moscow are without Shmarov. Their forward scored 9 goals this season. He was injured in an international against Poland. Maybe they're missing that extra thrust in attack. But it has to be said that Rodionov and Shalimov have had a very disappointing day. So too is Cherenkov, who, hands on hips, thinks about that half chance that he might have had a moment ago. The ball out of play, goal kick to Tbilisi. Kacharava. Well, if this is to be a sensational result, you can't have asked for a better goal than to settle the tie. That run by Gotichai-Shvili was quite brilliant. There may be Spartak. We'll be asking 1 or 2 questions about the marking as Gotichai-Shvili brought that ball forward. We're inside the last 5 minutes. Here's Kulkov. Cherenkov. Now, can he pull it back? Swiber managed to get it clear. And now Tbilisi have a lot of men forward. In fact, it's anywhere by Chidia. A late substitution for Tbilisi. Man who's coming off is Reveshvili, and Daraselia will come on. Got 3 minutes, Daraselia, to make an impact on this game. But I imagine that last 3 minutes will be spent defending this 1-goal advantage his team have. Muscovites beginning to trickle away into the evening. They've given up on their side. The referee wants to get things moving. Boki will take the throw. Been a disappointing day then for those Spartak Moscow fans. And are we going to see a sensational ending to this match? 1-0 Spartak Moscow trail. And they're desperate now for an equaliser inside the last 2 minutes of this game. Basule drives it over. Cherenkov rather was waiting for that one to drop onto his left foot. Pozniakov, Rodionov, Pozniakov again. It was anywhere will do for Ketashvili. A corner, possibly the last chance for Spartak Moscow in this match. Kulkov will take the corner. Headed away by Kacharava, that defending, and now Tbilisi have a lot of men forward. They have a great chance here. Daraselia, the substitute now. He needs support. Might go all the way by himself. Here's Chidia. Chidia might score. That was desperate defending in the end by Basulev, who got back to get his body behind the ball. But Chidia could have made it 2-0 right at the death. Cherchesov will want to get that ball upfield as quickly as he can. Svaiba.
Зрители верхнего яруса. Зрители верхнего яруса на несколько минут задерживаются. По окончании матча будет проведен...
Still no way through for Spartak Moscow then. Pasulko. Shalimov couldn't get on the end of it. We're inside the last 15 seconds of this game now. Darasalia. Svanadze. Kachirara just lost the run of the ball rather. Spartak Moscow perhaps with one last effort now. Kuznetsov. Referee looking at his watch. Shot in from Kuznetsov again. And Tbilisi on the verge of a famous victory. Chikivani. The shot beaten away from Kulkov. Basulev. It's all over. Tbilisi have won. No wonder they're delighted. A most unusual result by any stretch of the imagination. And that's why those Tbilisi players are celebrating right now. Spartak 0, Tbilisi 1 the final score. And nobody can quite believe it. It means that Spartak Moscow's lead at the head of the Soviet Supreme League is cut now to just 5 points. Dnipro second, and Kiev ominously with 2 games in hand, now third. But we leave you tonight with a remarkable game settled by a remarkable goal. Goodbye.